What is up, gang? Thank you for checking out Sledgehammer TV today. We are about to embark on the final episode of the second round of the Mae Young Classic, episode number 6, and we are going to do it together. We have whittled down the field of the Sweet 16 to get to the Elite 8, and who is going to move on to the semifinals? Let's find out together with my live listen along to the Mae Young Classic right here and right now. I'm Nick Nightmare, and you're watching the Sledgehammer Wrestling Show's Mae Young Classic Episode 6 live reaction show. Let's do it.
Sledgehammer Wrestling Show.
All right, wrestling fans, let's do this. We just fired it up, and we are getting ready to watch this thing. We're going to put the hammer down because we don't usually have to swing it so much when we are about to enjoy what's coming at us at the Mae Young Classic. Mr. Blue loves when I do this because he gets more animated, he gets a lot more screen time, and he wants to know if you guys enjoy seeing him here, so make sure you slam that thumbs up as we are on our journey through episode number 6. We have 4 fantastic matchups coming at us, and I think every one of them is going to deliver. I don't think any of them will be better than what we've seen with Meiko Satomura and Mercedes Martinez in the previous episode of the second round, but I am looking forward to it nonetheless. We will see what happens, and you know what, guys? Sometimes being a husband and a father takes precedent over having to come here and do what I love to do for you guys and do these reviews, so I apologize for this coming up at you guys so late, and if you guys were waiting with bated breath, I apologize. But nonetheless, here we are. Let's get through this. Matchup number 1 is going to be Io Shirai taking on Zeuxis. And in the first round, I wasn't that impressed with Zeuxis. She pulled off a very beautiful Spanish fly in her matchup, and she did advance to this round. She is going to be going up against one of the world's absolute best. Io Shirai impressed me in her first matchup with Xia Brookside. I loved Xia Brookside. I thought there was something special about her, and maybe that came off of her match and what she pulled off with Io. I don't know. We're going to have to look and wait and see. They're doing the promo package right now. We are seeing what I'm talking about right now. There's some highlights of Io Shirai and Xia Brookside, which was an absolutely fantastic match. She didn't really hit that moonsault. She does have to get used to that WWE size of the ring and things of that nature, and hopefully she can make the adjustment and perform at the level we all expect and have seen her perform at so far. Oh, look at this. 3 of the 4 horsewomen. Shayna Baszler, the former NXT Women's Champion, Jessamine Duke, and Marina Shafir standing there for absolutely no reason. Why they are being involved for the Mae Young Classic this year, I don't know. They did their thing last year. I don't care that they're there. Should be really better off if they did a lot less of that. Kayla Braxton in the ring, looking all hip-tacular. My God. Here we go, and the first contestant coming out is going to be Zeuxis with, I believe, the absolute worst song given to any female of this entire tournament. This song is absolutely terrible. Zeuxis coming out here looking like a psycho Edward Scissorhands jacket going on. Looks like Edward Scissorhands definitely designed that coat. All shredded up, studded up with rings. She took on Ariel Monroe in the first round in a match that I wasn't very impressed with altogether, but here they're showing the Spanish fly that I talked about. That, of course, is impressive. It was a shame Ariel Monroe had to lose to a move that her husband does all the time, but hey, listen, that is what it is. I hope you guys are enjoying the banter. We are live with the Mae Young Classic right now. I don't want you guys to have to hear Michael Cole and his bullshit, so I'm going to do my best to keep everything entertaining for you guys. in the middle of these things before the matchups get started. So I hope you're still with me. I hope you're having a good time. Make sure you let me know by smashing that like button. And subscribe to this channel, motherfuckers. If you are not already part of this channel in the Sledgehammer Club, what are you waiting for? Hit that subscribe button right now. Help us get to 1,000 subscribers before the end of the year. The sooner the better. And it all depends on an awesome wrestling fan like you who's joining me here today and is interested and is getting ready for my live action commentary and my real-time reactions to everything that is going down right here on episode number 6. And of course, make sure in the comments if you enjoyed this format, let me know. If you want me to just go back to, you know, just talking about the show when the show is done and you're not enjoying any of this, please let me know so that I don't continue to do so, because it's a lot of fun for me. I have a lot of fun pretending to be a commentator, practicing on my skills for when I finally get my foot in the wrestling business, and I want you guys to be a part of that. So let me know if you enjoy it, and if you don't, I promise I won't do this too much more. Maybe we'll just do one match or so, but we're going to do this whole show. It's only going to be 45 minutes or so. The bell is about to ring on Io Shirai and Zeuxis. Let's go, everybody. And there's the bell. Let's go with the second half of round 2. The crowd firmly behind Io Shirai, as you guys can probably hear.
Of course, a little bit of love for the fan favorite. So much buzz about Io, knowing that she's signed here to an NXT contract.
Collar and elbow tie up to start things off. Both women jockeying for position. Zeuxis gets Io up on the ropes. A nice clean break to start things off. This is going to be a very interesting clashing of styles, I believe. Back into the collar and elbow tie up once again, trying to see which one can gain the advantage. Io Shirai now with a whip off the ropes, taking her over now. Crisscrossing into the ring. Drop kick by Io Shirai sends Zeuxis to the outside. Io Shirai definitely showing her speed and agility and everything she brings to the WWE. Completely different style. A lot of aggression. Making her way back into the ring now. Oh, vicious forearm from Zeuxis as Io tried to do a springboard. Oh, drop kick to the shoulder sends her tumbling to the outside. Io is screaming in pain on the mat. On the ring floor, I'm sorry. On the outside mats of the ring floor. Io's really clutching at her left shoulder now, looking like she's trying to get some feeling back in there, getting the blood rush going. Up to the count of 4 now. Io's got to get back into the ring. Rolls back in now. Oh, under the receiving end of a vicious kick to the head. Zeuxis now working that arm that she injured with that drop kick. Headlock takeover. Moving it into a submission. Has some kind of an arm bar wrapped around her leg on Io. Looks very painful. Shirai rolls backwards, trying to reverse it, but ends up making it worse as now she's on her stomach at the full mercy of Zeuxis as she's got this arm absolutely wrenched into the back of Io Shirai.
Io's had so little time to recover from that huge drop kick to the outside.
What a roundhouse kick right to the side of the face. Zeuxis now delivering with a Meteora to the corner. Goes for the cover now. 2 and kick out by Shirai. What an impressive display by Zeuxis. Much, much improved from what I've seen in the first round. But Shirai will not be denied. She's coming back throwing forearm after forearm. Oh, another roundhouse kick right to that shoulder. Shirai not letting up, tripping up Zeuxis now. Oh, coming over the top rope, delivering a drop kick of her own. Look at this now. Io Shirai setting her up into the corner. Handstand into a double knees into the corner. Runs across to the opposite corner. Gears up like a freight train. Another Meteora to the chest. Right into that bottom turnbuckle of Zeuxis. What a vicious match. Zeuxis looking for a breather. Trying to get to the outside. Causing some separation between the very fiery Io Shirai and herself. Shirai not taking no for an answer. Through the Oh my God, suicide dive through the ropes. Almost took her own head off on the ramp as she just put all her body weight into Zeuxis onto the steel entry ramp. Not holding anything back here. Shirai is on the attack. Sends Zeuxis back into the ring. She is not going to be denied. Goes for the cover too, and kick out by Zeuxis. Shirai now gets on top of her. Nice crossface being applied, trying to wrench back, but the bigger Zeuxis now using her power to elevate herself up and get out of this predicament, turning this into a pump handle spine buster. My God. Whoa, a near 3 fall. Io Shirai, almost the victim of the biggest upset of the tournament. Zeuxis going up now. Moonsault from the top, but misses. Io now. Whoa! Drop kick to the top of the head. Setting her up in the corner now. Io looking to fly, earning her name as the Queen of the Sky, but Zeuxis too quick takes her off the top rope. She's now draped across the top turnbuckle. Zeuxis on the attack, setting up now for what I can only imagine is going to be the Spanish Fly. The girls trading blows at the top now. Right hands. Shirai now with a tough right hand gets Zeuxis spinned around on the top rope. Setting up now Io Shirai with a moonsault from the top rope. Hurricane Rana from the top rope. I'm sorry. So exciting. Oh, a Meteora double knee drop to the back of the neck. That was insane. Shirai now going to the top, putting all her eggs in. Springboards to the top rope, flipping Asai moonsault, completely missed it. Oh, she hit Zeuxis in the knees. She did not get it flush, but she does get the pin here. It was beautifully executed. It just did not land properly. Probably going back to what I was talking about at the beginning of this matchup, where she has to adjust to the new ring size. Maybe Zeuxis was out of position. I don't want to place blame, but she definitely did not land this beautiful Asai moonsault the way she wanted to. And what is that about? It looked like Zeuxis was copping a little feel in that pinfall there. I don't know. Let me know if you guys caught that. These are the things that my eyes catch. You know, I see these things. It's like she copped herself a little boob action going on during that 3 count. Good for her. That's a way to take a loss, huh? All right, Io Shirai. I'm sorry, Kyle. Io Shirai. Moving on to the quarterfinals as we get set to go into match number 2 on this night. The virtuosa Deonna Purrazzo is going to be taking on Xia Li. I was so impressed with Xia Li in her initial outing in round number 1. Her match with Karen Q came out of left field for me. I expected absolutely nothing, and what I got was a very high quality matchup between 2 girls that I had never really seen much of. Xia Li, being the more impressive of the 2, was able to get the win and move on here. She has got a fantastic look. She is a beautiful Chinese warrior, very much inspired, if you're asking me, by Mortal Kombat and Katana. And she comes out with that big giant fan. She's got just a great, unique look about her. She's got a toughness this year that was not there last year. If you're asking me, she is the most improved signee that the WWE has under their belt from 2017 to 2018. I would fast track her to the NXT Women's Division, keep her away from the main roster because we all don't want to see her joking around and turning into a glow-in-the-dark clown like they did with Asuka. This girl is special, and I am a big fan of her following this year. Deonna Purrazzo, I don't have to say anything about Deonna Purrazzo. She is the perennial fan favorite. A lot of you guys are pulling for her, as am I. She is absolutely beautiful. She is technically sound, and I love mat-based wrestling. I love submission style. She reminds me of like a female Chris Benoit without all of the murdery stuff going on. She's just got this very great technical style, which is why they call her the virtuosa of the mat. I look forward to seeing if she's able to ground Xia Li, who has so much of a force behind her kicks and her strikes that she may be able to take Purrazzo off her game with just a few stiff shots. But Purrazzo is no joke as she's making her way down now towards the ring. Loving the jacket she's wearing. She's got a great outfit. Like I said, she's a beautiful girl. Her first round matchup with one of my favorites in the preliminary rounds, which was Priscilla Kelly. I wanted to see Kelly go a lot further. I wanted to see much more of her. She herself, very beautiful, very reminiscent of the early years of Paige. And I thought that was a fantastic first round matchup for both girls. Purrazzo now getting set in the ring. Michael Cole keeps calling her the virtuoso because obviously he thinks she's a man. Idiot. She is tough as nails. She's got a lot of the fans on her side. I don't expect to see her losing this match, but I'm kind of pulling in my own way for the upstart, the new Xia Li, who is now making her way to the ring. Kung Fu Master, Michael Cole says. I like her, man. She gets me pumped. There's just something different, and I like different. She's got a real great charisma. She's very intense. She likes to be vocal. She speaks English very well. She speaks English probably a lot better than most of the Japanese imports we have on the roster right now. She's taken this seriously, and you can tell her development has come a whole lot further than what it was last year. Doing her whole kata dance now in the middle of the ring, striking her fan pose. I'm loving it. I'm loving it. She needs a little bit better of a lighting scheme. Maybe drop the lights down and spotlight on her while she's doing all her flippy stuff. It's going to be great. All right, guys, here we go. Handshake going on. Good sportsmanship. We love seeing that. And here we go as the bell sounds and the action is about to begin. Starting out again. Collar and elbow tie-up. Purrazzo tries for a takeover. Xia lands on her feet. Nice chain wrestling going on at the start here. Purrazzo headlock takeover. Now Xia Li counters with a head scissors. Deonna Purrazzo now rolls her way up out of it, doing a handstand between the knees of Xia Li and kicks herself out of it. Takes a little bow there, showing Xia Li maybe you're not ready for this. Drop toe hold down by Purrazzo. Mahistral cradle, one. Only a one count. Looks to go for that Fujiwara armbar early in the match. Li rolls out of it. Oh, what a kick to the side and the hamstrings. Ducks out a nice combination strike by Li. On the attack now. Stalling leg drop. Beautifully executed. Elbow drop. Goes for the cover. 1, 2. Looks for a quick win. Trying to get the virtuosa off her game at the start of this thing with a flurry of strikes that is not to be believed. Absolutely fantastic action to start this off now. Li in the corner. Super kick to the face of Purrazzo. Goes up to the second rope. Nice stiff kick to the throat of Deonna Purrazzo. 1, 2. Near fall once again. Xia Li came to win this matchup. She is not intimidated at all by the hype surrounding Deonna Purrazzo. Nice drop kick. Takes Li down. Purrazzo now. 1, 2. First pinfall of the match for Deonna. Looks to be a little bit flustered. Taking control now of Xia Li. A very unique maneuver now. Has her arm wedged between her feet. And oh! Looks like she just broke her fucking arm. What was that? Now stays on top of it now. Short arm clothesline takes Li down to the mat. Purrazzo with the cover. 1, 2. It's going to take more than that to silence Xia Li. I think Deonna Purrazzo might have thought she had this one in the bag and was taking Xia Li a little bit lightly at the start of this match. As Li continues to fire back with right hand after right hand. Oh, eats a kick to the midsection from Purrazzo. Off the ropes now. High knee into a Russian leg sweep now. She rolls over trying to get the armbar. She's got the Fujiwara armbar locked in right now. Li might be done with it. Wait a minute. Rolls it over into a cover. Near fall. Nice reversal by Li to roll over into a cover, forcing Purrazzo to break out. Purrazzo for the pin now. 1, 2. Wow. This match is a tough one, man. These girls are leaving it out there. Purrazzo now going again for that arm, trying to wear it down. Looking to hyperextend the elbow now to make that Fujiwara armbar even more effective later on in the match. Trying to wear down Li with every movement. At the same time, she's trying to gain her wind back, sucking air as she's able to. Wait a minute now. Li flips out of it. Nice stalling drop kick this time. Both women out on the mat, breathing heavily. Absolutely exhausted already. Purrazzo looks to be the first to coming around to her senses. Gets a handful of Xia Li's hair. Oh, what a chop to the throat of Li. Li with a chop to her own. Back to Purrazzo. Trading shots. Go. Moves to the elbows now. Purrazzo lets it rip. Gets blocked by Xia Li now. This is a back and forth match. Whoa! Flip by Li. And a stiff enziguri to the back of the neck. 1, 2. Very, very close upset victory for Xia Li. Absolutely fantastic. Deonna Purrazzo exhausted in the corner, trying to pull herself up to the top rope. Li's getting fired up. She's screaming. Goes for a kick but misses. Follows up with a back kick. Still gets Purrazzo. Going up to the second rope. Looks for no. I don't know what she was going for, but she ends up back in that armbar. Going into a Rings of Saturn now. Oh my gosh. Oh, what a vicious submission. She's almost got the girl's elbows touching behind her back and she taps out. Xia Li taps out to the Fujiwara armbar master, the virtuosa Deonna Purrazzo. My God, that was one of the most vicious submissions I have seen in the entirety of this tournament, maybe from any woman anywhere. She literally had the girl's arms almost pinned to one another behind her back. It was something very, very painful to watch, even for us just sitting here. Very, very impressive matchup, going the distance. Deonna Purrazzo survives her encounter with that Chinese warrior, Xia Li. I hope to see a whole lot more of her. Congratulations to her. That was a great match. Absolutely great. Very intense, as we are now getting set for the 7th matchup of this round, setting up the quarterfinals. Sorry, I just got distracted here. The next matchup coming up is Tegan Knox going to be taking on Nicole Matthews. And bear with me here for a second, boys and girls, and don't bust my balls. All right, I'm just telling you guys the way I see it. I have not had the pleasure to watch Nixon Newell or Tegan Knox's career in the UK or anywhere else. I have no exposure to her outside of what I'm seeing here in the Mae Young Classic. And I'm telling you guys that much in the same case like Hiroyo Matsumoto, I do not see what all the excessive hype is about with Tegan Knox. She's great in the ring, but she comes off to me as very generic. There's just nothing really special about her. And being put in a field of 30-plus women that pretty much stand out just in looks alone, she reminds me of like a girl AJ Styles. And you could say the same thing about AJ Styles. Love him or you hate him, he's kind of bland as a character. He's one of the best wrestlers in the world, but he doesn't really sell tickets. You don't really care about his, his character is not as intense as his wrestling is. And I feel like that's what I'm getting when I'm seeing Tegan Knox. You got Michael Cole coming out telling you she's his pick. She's his favorite. She's going to be a superstar every time she comes out on the screen. Maybe that subliminally is just bringing her value down, because anything Michael Cole likes, I am not going to be for. I'm hoping that I'm not that shallow of a person, but just telling you guys from what I'm seeing, I'm not saying she's not good. I just don't see what the hype is about. What makes her better than anybody else that we've seen on this night? You got her in the same tournament as an Io Shirai, as a Xia Brookside. I was more impressed with Xia Brookside than I was out of the first round with Tegan Knox. So this is going to be an interesting matchup to see. Nicole Matthews, last match, had a hard time keeping her pants on her ass, and we had to see her little bit of extra hanging out and being all distracting, and that was not a good look for her. Looks like she took that to heart, as she's got a full body suit on tonight, so there ain't going to be no problem with anything coming out. She looks to be better suited for competition tonight. She's another one. Everybody talks about how great Nicole Matthews is. In this tournament, I don't know if great is the right word. And I'm not trying to be mean. I'm not trying to be a dick. We're not bringing the hammer down so much. It's just, this is my opinion. That's why you come to me. And I want you to feel free to explain to me why I'm wrong. Why is Tegan Knox not just a female AJ Styles, the generic wrestler that you could have in 2K19, create a woman wrestler? You'd probably look something like this before you started to fine-tune it and make it something of your own. But, no disrespect intended. I'm looking forward to see this matchup. Maybe they'll shut me up. We'll have to wait and see. They're showing right now Tegan Knox getting checked by the referee in the ring. Even her ring gear doesn't even look special. She reminds me of like a Candice LeRae with brown hair. Like every time I look at her, I can see something that I can pull from somebody else. Maybe the same could be said about a lot of these other girls. I just don't see why she's so special, and why Michael Cole's picked her as her pick, and why he's her favorite, and blah, 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 blah. Not like his opinion matters worth a fucking damn anyway. All right, here's the bell, and Nicole Matthews now immediately on the attack on Tegan Knox. Forearm after forearm, looking to deliver a clothesline, but gets blocked by Knox. Little bit of a flurry of strikes there. She seems to have hurt her hand on that first right to the face of Matthews. She's already on the outside. Knox setting up for a plancha through the ropes, but eats a forearm to the face. Matthews denies her flight. Bringing her back into the ring now. Matthews has her draped up against the ropes, and she's delivering a flurry of stiff roundhouse kicks to the chest of Tegan Knox. Matthews now re-entering the ring. Knox is on the floor. She goes for the cover a little bit late, if you ask me. Should have been right on that, little Miss Matthews. Stays on top of her now. Has Knox in the corner. Delivers another Ric Flair-like chop. These girls are all hitting each other so hard that they're hurting their own hands. Every single one of these girls, after they deliver that hand, is like, yeah, because they're just really, really throwing haymakers in there. Irish whip into the corner, followed up by a drop kick by Matthews. Goes for the cover. 1, 2. Kick out by Knox. Looks like we're going to go with the bigger girl dominating the little girl match right now. Crowd solidly behind Tegan now as she absorbs a shot to the back from Nicole Matthews. More kicking strikes from the bigger, more powerful Matthews. Oh, look out. Knox pops up. Headlock takeover with some kicks to the back of her own now. How do you like it, Nicole Matthews? Headlock takeover now to Knox. And again, they're just doing the same move to each other over and over right now. Okay. Matthews now seated on top of Knox. Going for some kind of a weird double arm choke. She has her knee buried into the back of Tegan Knox and both of Knox's own arms wrapped around her neck. Tegan powering out now. Matthews goes for a short arm clothesline that absolutely took Knox's head off. She picks her up again, goes for another one, turns it into a Northern Light suplex. 1, 2, and ho-ho! We almost got some major boobage going on. So now instead of having to keep her pants up, she's got to keep her friggin' boobs from popping out, this girl. Holy cow! Hey, listen, we gotta have fun, right? We almost saw some boobs. That's always a plus. Only adds to the match, right? Tegan Knox now with a flurry of forearms, a European uppercut, and then a nice loud scream. Hits the ropes, goes for a dropkick, but gets caught by Matthews trying to roll her over into a Boston Crab. Gets rolled up herself into a schoolboy. 1, 2, picks up her shirt again. Oh, eats a hell of a headbutt from Tegan Knox. That seemed kind of silly. And a cannonball. Lots of girls doing the cannonball this year. The Shiny Wizard. The Shiny Wizard missed by a mile. She did not connect with that, but that is the end of this matchup. And we got to see more boobage almost coming out. Tegan Knox should probably give the assist to the halter top of Nicole Matthews for trying to let her boobs come out so much. Girl spent the whole match doing this. What are we watching here? Just let them come out. You know, you had the thing underneath. You weren't naked. You had the little black sports bra. Just leave your friggin'... leave it. Wrestle. The shiniest wizard. Missed by a mile. Seen it in a replay. It just grazed right past her head. Didn't really connect. Whatever, I'll be forgiving. But I'm going to come out and say it again. I don't see it. I don't see what makes her stand out above the rest. I don't see what makes her special. I can only hope that her next matchup, now that she has won here, it's going to lead her down the road to be facing Rhea Ripley. Rhea Ripley is no joke right now. And if she could survive Ripley, I guess I'll have no choice than to show her a little bit more love and respect than I guess I'm giving her now. Like I said, I'm not meaning to disrespect the girl. I just don't see it. They're hyping her up to be the next biggest, hugest star ever, and I beg to ask why. I just don't see it. I don't see it. As far as Nicole Matthews, I could care less if I ever see her again. She did absolutely nothing to make me feel like we need to have her in NXT or anything like that. All throughout her build, all you hear is, oh, if you heard of Nicole Matthews, if you talk to somebody that knows Nicole Matthews, they'll tell you this, they'll tell you that. Are they going to tell you that she's just like everybody else? Just another one of these average girls that doesn't stand out? I appreciate the boob show, but, you know, come on. We ain't here for that. We're here to watch wrestling. And not that it was a bad match, just when you compare it to everything else we have been getting, what was that? It was just more of the same. More of the same. What's not going to be more of the same is this main event for this round 2 finale, which is the one match that I had a discussion in the comments section in the previous episode's review with my buddy Kyle, who is my go-to guy for the Mae Young Classic stuff. And he had asked me an interesting question, which is if I thought any match following Satomura versus Mercedes was going to live up to that or even come close to that. And although I don't truly believe it to be the case, this match was the one match on this night, Kaitlyn versus Mia Yim, that I thought even stands a chance to come close to what we enjoyed on the last episode. And the fact that it's going to be the match to close the show makes me believe that the WWE felt the exact same way. Sure, we've seen a great opening match with Io Shirai and Zeuxis, but this is probably the best match left in the second round. And if I'm going to pick a winner, I'm going to pick Mia Yim. You guys that have been watching me, you see my preview and predictions and all that stuff. You know Mia Yim is my favorite to win this whole thing. She's a friend of the show here, and I just want her to win the Mae Young Classic so bad against all odds. I don't truly believe she's going to, but this could possibly be her final stop as she's going against the former Divas champion, Kaitlyn. Kaitlyn is coming in this thing. She looks absolutely phenomenal. She is gorgeous. I had a thing for her when she was first a diva, but I think she looks 100 times better now. And even more important than that is the way she wrestles in the ring, beating Kavita Devi in the first round in very impressive fashion with a beautiful spear, a spear that would make Charlotte Flair jealous and should make Charlotte Flair jealous. Absolutely beautiful. And I'm hoping, you know, this is one of those matches that no matter who wins, we can't lose, because both of these girls are fantastic. Mia Yim already in the ring now. She's wearing some pretty nice Black Panther inspired gear. Loving the gear, Mia. Awesome. And now here she comes, the redemption tale for 2018. Former Divas champion Kaitlyn coming down to the ring, looking like hot fire, getting ready to fight. I don't think she's ever faced anything like the blazing baddie, Mia Yim, who's a one-of-a-kind individual all her own. Very unique, very, very powerful, very strong in many, many senses of the word. Emotionally strong, physically strong. You want a role model for women, I think Mia Yim is amongst one of the biggest ones you could champion as a role model for women. Be that as it may, let's get ready for the final matchup of round number 2, getting ready to go to the quarterfinals. Here we go. The winner of this match, as they just said, I will reiterate, takes on Toni Storm. So again, no matter who wins, we win, because that next match with Toni Storm is going to be off the charts, man. All right, the girls locking up now. Once again, jockeying for position. Mia Yim with the advantage thus far. Delivers a chop with that hand. Probably not the best idea. If you remember, her right hand was badly damaged in round number 1. After she struck the ring post, she now delivered a knife-edge chop that definitely hurt Mia Yim more than it hurt Kaitlyn. Kaitlyn now with a flurry of leg drops. The second, a third. Kaitlyn now for a cover 1. Bringing an aggression all her own. Kaitlyn will not lay down easily, no matter who she's in there against. Oh, cannonball by Kaitlyn into Mia Yim into the corner. I told you guys, a cannonball. Big time popular move this year. Goes for a cover, didn't really have it set in, got barely a 1 count. A little bit of a feeling out process going on here. Kaitlyn now with a body scissors applied to Mia Yim. Yim rolls backwards, trying to fight her way out of it, but cannot get out of the vice-like grip of the legs of Kaitlyn, who rolls it over into a pinning combination, gets a 1 count. Rolls it over once again. 1. Keeps getting those shoulders down. Does it again for a 3rd time. 1, 2, and oh! Very close fall there. That looked like a little bit of a mistiming thing. There's no way this match was going to end right there. That was almost a botch. Kaitlyn now, once again on the attack, going into the ropes. Now tries to deliver a drop. A dropping baseball slide to the outside, but Mia Yim catches her up and bashes her hamstring into the ring apron. Looking to go right on the attack for that leg, and now she's just kicking away at it like a redwood tree. Fully placing her attack on the hamstring and the back of the knee of Kaitlyn. Going for a cover now is Mia Yim, but easily kicked out by Kaitlyn. You can already see the bruising showing up on the legs of Kaitlyn. Already a big purple welt showing up. Mia now with a standing figure 4 submission applied, just trying to rip the limbs apart of Kaitlyn. If she applies much more pressure, she could definitely shatter her kneecap and break her leg in the complete opposite direction. Legs were not bent, that meant to be bent that way. Mia Yim now lets her go. Mounts on top of her with some relentless striking to the face. Big time slap to Kaitlyn. Still seated on top of her. Kaitlyn getting pissed off, asking for another. Moves out of the way. Mia Yim's hitting the canvas with that injured fist. Bait and switch by Kaitlyn now. Oh my God, the viciousness now being shown by Kaitlyn. She's got her whole entire leg draped over the throat of Mia Yim while she is manipulating that broken hand, that heavily wrapped hand of Mia Yim, just separating the fingers, pulling at the wrist now. Mia Yim has got to tap out or risk having that wrist further broken. Kaitlyn now driving that fist into the mat and letting the submission go. I would have never let that go. Kaitlyn now goes for a scoop slam, but the damage to the leg just too much. She couldn't support the body weight. You have got to see the purple swelling on the left leg of Kaitlyn. 1, 2, almost gets the win. Mia Yim.
Look at Kaitlyn's leg. You can see the discoloration from the strikes.
Right? Did you hear that? I told you guys. Nice shoulder tackle by Kaitlyn. Takes Mia Yim down. Again, both of these girls are just spent. They are really going at it full octane. Mia Yim and Kaitlyn rising to their feet at the same time. Kaitlyn ducks the clothesline, delivers a couple of vicious forearms. Sends Mia Yim into the ropes. Back elbow right to the throat of Yim. Kaitlyn staying on her. Goes now for that scoop slam and gets it this time. Looks to go again for another scoop slam. She's going to have to pull something better than a scoop slam out of her arsenal. What has she got cooking right next? Mia Yim looks to be asking for... Oh, she was trying to bait her in. Kaitlyn now. Spinning tornado side slam. That's a lot better than a scoop slam. A near fall. Mia Yim almost succumbed to the damage of that spinning tornado side slam by Kaitlyn. What an impressive maneuver. Fantastic. Mia Yim in the corner. Kaitlyn setting up for that spear. Yim avoids. Gets out of the corner now. Eat defeat! Or the soul food. Gail Kim's eat defeat for a near fall. How did Kaitlyn kick out of the soul food? She did, Mia Yim delivered the soul food from the top rope in the first round. This time she did not have that extra elevation, and Kaitlyn able to kick out of one of Yim's signature maneuvers. Yim now taken from behind. Looks to be going for a German. Kaitlyn now blocking with shoulder strikes to that injured hand of Mia. Oh, what a spear! Holy shit! Oh, what a 2 count, so close. Kaitlyn with a spear to end all spears. That was beautiful. Goes to stomp the hand, but wait a minute. Mia Yim catches her, wraps her up in a knee bar. Listen to Kaitlyn screaming in pain. She's just inches from the ropes. She can get there if she just moves it. Oh, Kaitlyn taps out. Kaitlyn tapped. The knee bar was just too much. The damage put on that leg through the entirety of this matchup just made it a near impossibility for her to hold on in that knee bar for a millisecond more. She was literally inches away from the ropes, almost able to get the ref to break that count, but she tapped out instead. This was a very rough, tough, hard-hitting matchup. These girls were both fantastic in this. Here we go with some replays. This is when Kaitlyn was on top of Mia Yim, just absolutely trying to separate her fingers from her hand. This would be the telltale sign as that spear. What a beautiful spear, and the closest 3 count for Kaitlyn of this matchup. She went to get Mia Yim's hand, but Yim was able to wrap her up in a beautiful knee bar submission. Listen to the screams here. Oh my God. The screams of agony pave the road to defeat. Mia Yim seemingly wrestling victory from the jaws of defeat. She was on the verge of losing this match on multiple occasions, coming back in the end to just tap out Kaitlyn and sending her out of this year's 2018 Mae Young Classic. A show of respect from the fans right now. Kaitlyn and Mia Yim exchanging an embrace, hugging each other right now, as the referee helping Kaitlyn to the outside. Helping her to the back. That leg just was put through too much. Mia Yim now celebrating in here. Rightfully so. My emotional favorite to win this whole thing is now in the quarterfinals and is going to be facing Toni Storm, and that is not going to be an easy test. 8 women are left. This was a great episode, you guys. Io Shirai and her 5 Nights at Freddy's mask. Oh, did you hear it? Again, every time I have to hear Michael Cole, Tegan Knox is my pick to win the entire thing, I want her to win even less every time he says it. Rhea Ripley, Toni Storm, Lacey Lane, Meiko Satomura, Tegan Knox, Mia Yim, Io Shirai, God damn it. Wow. And ladies and gentlemen, that was the end of the Mae Young Classic. What a great episode. That was probably from start to finish the best complete episode. There was not one real sleeper match on that card on this episode, as we now are set to move on to the Field of 8. Check this out, you guys. This is where we're at. This is what we got left. And these matchups, 3 of these matchups are great. I feel like I'm on Sesame Street. One of these things don't go with the other, because we got Toni Storm and Mia Yim going to be possibly a 5-star matchup. Io Shirai, Deonna Purrazzo going to be absolutely incredible. Tegan Knox versus Rhea Ripley, probably going to be the match that makes me say, you know what, Tegan Knox is fucking great, and I understand the hype, and I hope that is the case. But in the upper part of the screen, on the opposite of Knox and Ripley, you have Meiko Satomura, who is easily my favorite thing in this tournament, going up against Lacey Lane, who is also one of my favorite newcomers in this tournament. But when you are going to put a 20-plus year legend in the ring against somebody who's been wrestling for 2 years tops, that just doesn't equate to me. And there's two things I want you guys to take away from looking at this screen here right now. The fact that Meiko Satomura and Io Shirai, I know I'm a little backwards here, are on opposite ends of the spectrum, only makes you believe that this thing is going to come down to the two of them. And we are going to have a mega match of worldwide mega stars to conclude the Mae Young Classic. However, the same can be said in the case of Toni Storm and Rhea Ripley. That is my backup matchup for the finals. My prediction, as probably everybody, is Satomura versus Shirai, but do not sell that matchup short. I think Rhea Ripley, in her current incarnation, going up against Toni Storm, is going to be one of the matches that just might put the Mae Young Classic on the map. Toni Storm is a never quit, never say die type of competitor from the UK. Rhea Ripley, also from the UK, in the NXT UK division. It would be great to have them kickstart some sort of a feud right here in the finals of the Mae Young Classic. I think that would be a fantastic matchup. You have a couple of other great possibilities. We could be seeing Toni Storm versus Deonna Purrazzo, Io Shirai versus Mia Yim in the finals, but I really don't think that that's going to be the case. As far as it goes, I feel like Satomura is going to advance with Toni Storm, and then Rhea Ripley is going to advance with Io Shirai, and then we will have Shirai and Satomura in the finals of this thing. You guys, that's all we're going to do. I'm not going to waste any more of your time. We had an absolutely fantastic time calling this thing with you guys. I hope you enjoyed the show. Obviously, you know my feelings. We've had 4 fantastic matchups tonight. Easily the best episode from start to finish since this year's tournament began. And I'm so looking forward to the quarterfinals because all we have left is quality type matchups. And I can't wait for this thing to start winding down and we can finally crown this year's winner of the 2018 Mae Young Classic. And make sure you guys are subscribed to this channel so that you don't miss any of the Mae Young Classic coverage, because Sledgehammer TV is the one and only wrestling station on YouTube that gives the Mae Young Classic the love and respect that it truly deserves. We treat it better than anybody else, even when we're a little bit late to the dance. It's gonna be the best dance you had all week long when you want to dance with the Mae Young Classic. I want to thank you guys again for being here with me. All of my loyal Sledgeheads who are part of the Sledgehammer Club, thank you for being with me all year long. We are coming up to the holiday season. Halloween's almost here and the year is almost over. And we have got to get to 1,000 subscribers before the year's end. It is going to be the biggest thing that has ever happened on Sledgehammer TV. I promise to get each and every one of you guys shouted out in there if I can. So that's why you got to make sure you're in the comment section so I can highlight my comment section all-stars, my Twitter all-stars. Don't forget to be following us on my Instagram account. That's at NIC_Nightmare. That's where you can find Sledgehammer TV's official Instagram account. We got the @NickNightmare straight up. You can see it right down there for the Twitter account. Follow me on the tweet machine for my live tweeting of everything going on Mondays, Tuesdays, whenever I feel like talking. Sometimes I throw some real funny shit out there that you're not going to want to miss because I'm a pretty funny guy. You know that already if you've been watching me for a while. You don't want to miss out. This episode was way, way longer than probably anything we've done in the last couple of months at least, but that's because we went live with the Mae Young Classic. Don't forget to let me know if you enjoyed my call. I apologize for any of the pauses in action or any of the missed calls for the moves that I might have made a mistake here or there. I expect somebody to call me out on some shit, but you know, the more we do it, the better we'll get at it. So if you enjoyed it, let me know. Maybe we can do one live. And maybe you guys can all watch along with me as it happens. And you can have my commentary, whether you liked it or not, better than Michael Cole's commentary, regardless how you felt about it. I was definitely better than him. We're going to end it on that before we end up just talking and talking and talking because we haven't been on the behind the camera and on the channel. You know, like I said, being a dad and a husband takes precedence sometimes, and I've missed being over here talking to you guys, and I thought this would be a fun thing to do. Let me know if I should not waste my time doing that anymore, or let me know if I should do that again and again and again, because it's a whole lot of fun. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. My name is Nick Nightmare. This is my team, Thor the Sledgehammer, the Wrestling God of Thunder, and the official Sledgehammer of the Sledgehammer Wrestling Show. And his tag team partner, the World Heavyweight Champion of all the microphones in all the world. He is Mr. Blue, and we are so pleased to be with you, my Sledgeheads, right here on the Sledgehammer Wrestling Show. Do not forget to like, share, and subscribe. Make sure you show this video to all of your wrestling buddies all over the wrestling world and tell their asses to subscribe, especially if they enjoy the Mae Young Classic as much as we do here on this channel. That, my friends, is going to do it, and we are out of here, and we will see you next time right here on the Sledgehammer Wrestling Show. You know you loved every minute of it. Io, whatever, you loved it.